Nkem was feared and respected in equal measure. He was known to be a man of discipline and strength, but his temper was as swift as a summer storm. His young son, Chima, was the only one who could make him laugh on a hard day, yet the boy's endless curiosity often got him into trouble. Chima was always wandering off, always coming back with scraped knees or muddy feet, and Nkem had warned him many times, "Stay close to home, or you'll find trouble bigger than you." One evening, as darkness crept over the village, Chima staggered into the house, covered in dirt and clutching his arm, where a deep scratch bled down to his wrist. Nkem's eyes darkened. Chima. He roared, his voice booming through the house. "How many times have I warned you?" Chima, trembling, tried to explain, but his words tumbled out too fast, his voice small. He spoke of a bird's nest he had found in the deep woods, and how he had followed the colorful feathers, losing track of time. But Nkem's patience had worn thin, his heart drummed with anger. To him, this wasn't just disobedience, it was a challenge to his authority. "I warned you," Nkem growled, "but you never listen." In his fury, he reached for the nearest thing he could find, the heavy wooden pestle he used to pound jam. His hands gripped the handle tightly as he lifted it, his mind blind to everything but his rage. With a shout, he brought the pestle down, intending only to scare the boy, to make him understand once and for all. But Chima didn't move, frozen with fear. The pestle struck his small shoulder, and Chima let out a cry before crumpling to the ground, motionless. For a heartbeat, silence filled the room. Nkem's wife rushed in, her face a mask of horror as she saw her son lying on the ground. Nkem dropped the pestle, his anger draining in an instant, replaced by a cold wave of realization. He knelt by Chima, calling his name, shaking him gently, his voice trembling. But Chima lay still, his small face pale, his breathing shallow. The days that followed were a blur of grief and shame for Nkem. The village knew what had happened, whispers spread like wildfire. The people murmured behind his back, mothers pulled their children close, and friends avoided his gaze. Nkem wandered the village a broken man, a father who had taken his own son's innocence in a single moment of rage. And so, he became a story the villagers told to their children, a warning whispered in the night, beware of anger, for in a single heartbeat, it can destroy the one thing you cherish most. The moral lesson of this story is that unchecked anger can lead to irreversible harm. In a single moment of rage, we may destroy the very things we hold dearest. Always let patience and restraint guide your actions, for once a hurtful deed is done, it cannot be undone.